Both of you, comment is good. Oh, nice door. That was a good door. Good door. Brilliant. What I can tell people is if you have a really good waza, don't give up on it. If it's working, just because you didn't get a point the first time, maybe you need to show it to Shimpan 2 or 3 times. You know, not just that one point where the Shinai connects with the target, because we're not playing touch tag here, right? Especially for third dan, all right? So don't focus on that point of impact of the Shinai with the target. It's just one step in the process. Focus on the whole element. You need to demonstrate your waza has all of those if you want to pass a third dan exam. Hi, Dr. Zandy. Welcome to this episode of Kendo Video Feedback. In these videos, essentially, what we do is we take some footage that you wonderful channel viewers have sent in. We watch it together. I give you some feedback, and hopefully everybody gain something. We're going to jump to these 2 fantastic videos in a second. We've just got 2 short videos today, so it shouldn't be a mega long episode. But before we do, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, satisfy the YouTube ninjas. Get 25,762.4 gazillion people starting Kendo by this afternoon by doing those things. But most importantly, you have to leave a comment. That's the really big thing in there. Leave a comment using the word Kendo. What a great Kendo video. This is the best Kendo channel I've ever seen. Something like that. And that will help us grow the Kendo population. More importantly than that, though, if you like this video, if you like the content that I put out there, whether it's these videos, whether it's the Q&A style videos like Kendo Rant, the analysis videos is a feedback video, or the instructional videos, all that stuff, it comes to you free of charge. There's no subscriptions, no paying for subtitles, nothing like that. Here's a real win-win to support it. All you have to do is shop at KendoStar.com, the best Kendo equipment website in the history and future of the human race. Now, of course, I would say that because I own the place, but everyone agrees with me, all right? Shop at KendoStar.com. Don't buy twice, buy right first time round at KendoStar.com. Okay, let's get to these videos. So, we've got 2 videos to look at today. Let me read the emails that came along with them. The first one says, Dear Fish Sensei, I hope this email finds you well and thank you for all your wonderful videos and work with KendoStar. I've been loving KendoStar Basics except for a year now. Thank you very much. I'd like to submit a video from a recent tournament for review. I got to play against a dojo mate and a very good friend of mine in this match. This is actually the 4th time we've played against each other in a tournament, and this time we thought we'd reach out to you and see what feedback you might have for both of us, both at the Q level. So any guidance on where to focus on improvement would be great. Thank you so much for your time. No problem. So we're looking at both of the players on this one. So I don't know which one you are. Maybe we'll figure it out. You also put a PS and you sent me 2 extra videos. You said your friend also wanted some feedback on the individual matches, but you didn't want to take up too much of your time. So you've attached them just in case I have time to review them. Look, normally I would definitely review these as well. And I will review these as well. I'm more than happy to. But I don't know which one your friend is in the video. All right? So I just need a little bit more information. So I'll reply to your email and I'll ask you for it as well. But if when you're sending me these videos, sorry, if you can give me as much information as you can, who is who, which side you're on, context of the tournament or event or whatever it is you're doing, it'll help me a lot to be able to give you the best possible feedback as we do this. So, right, let's have a look, shall we? So, this first one's a Shiai. It's only 1.5 minutes, so let's have a look at what we've got. So I don't know which one of you is which, but we're giving advice to both of you. This, according to your description, says it's a finals as well. Let's look at this first attack. Good. So we're getting the Fumikomi okay, but we're not really pushing. I'm talking to the left player here, who will be the red player. We're not really pushing forward as we do our Fumikomi, we're sort of pushing upwards, and that's also encouraging us to make a really big swing with our Shinai, which means that we are exposed to this degote, and you're not making the fastest route to the men strike, all right? If you push yourselves forward a little bit more with your hips, you'll be able to make a smaller strike that has more impact, all right? This kote strike as well, a little bit too big, and not quite on target, all right? Good timing. Okay, oh, it's okay. You want to avoid this stuff, right? Momentarily, you have to do it. We'll try not to spend too much time like here because it does put you in a position of danger, even though it feels safe. Both of your comment is good. Oh, nice door. That was a good door. Good door. Let's watch it again. Good. So that was really good door. Well done. Let's break it down. So again, for the red player, of course, we're making such a large strike here, and we're not traversing much distance with our leap forward. Now, you don't always have to leap forward loads. You know what I mean? You have to control the distance. Sometimes you make a short step. Sometimes you make a really long step. It's not what I'm saying. But in this case, you had quite a lot of distance. And still made a short step. Now, of course, you're quite tall, so you can reach. So that's fine. But look how much room there is between you and your partner here, right? In order for them to be able to hit this door quite nicely, all right? So, the strike itself, the door strike is reasonably good, but it's a bit slow, all right? It's a bit slow, which is why you end up hitting on the front of the door like that, and you end up sort of cramped like this, yeah, which is not what you want, right? So the way we're gonna fix that, right, is I like what you're doing, but if you, and then here's the real, like, here's the one that seems counterintuitive, and a lot of people struggle with this when they do Kaishido, is instead of crouching like this to try and squeeze the distance in so you can fit your shinai in this way, if you kept your posture a bit better, you'd gain space between you and your partner. See how your back is leaning forward? If your back was a bit straighter, you'd get probably about this much extra room. Yeah. So try not to duck down this way, but it's difficult. It's not so easy. I get it. Well, that's one. And two is you keep your posture a little bit straighter, and your left hip, I want you to turn more sort of that way, like away from them, into the door strike, whereas you've kind of, your hips are sort of facing towards him, so you're not getting the most effective strike. So it's a great ippon. It's definitely ippon, don't get me wrong, but it'd be even better if you made those changes. Okay, good. Okay, this sort of stuff's dangerous, right? I realise we're looking at a Q grade Taikai, all right? So I understand the level of experience that we're looking at, but as you start to move up, you start to get involved with like open tournament stuff like that. If you sort of hit and then leave yourself with this, what I like to call in Japanese, bimyo na kyori, this kind of like weird distance, like the good player is going to hit you here. You're giving them plenty of space. It takes too long to break that, you know, get in. I'd be careful of this as well. You see, once you come to Tsubazeriai, you're not supposed to separate like this. Now, I think that, you know, a Q grade level, they're going to be more lenient, but you're not supposed to separate like this sort of going forward, all right? To do properly. So I think the red player here, you're going to benefit from maybe a little bit less bend in your left leg. All right, it's a little bit too bent. You're quite tall, and you'd be even taller if you brought the left foot up a little bit and straighten the knee a little bit more. All right, so that you could push yourself forward rather than upwards, which is what I said at the start. So you can sort of see your jump kind of, and because your swing is so big, your fumikomi is not really timed properly with your strike. Yeah, your shinai should hit a split second before the foot. when watched in slow motion. It should look about the same time. But if the foot hits first, like it does here, it looks disjointed, okay? So left leg a little bit straighter so you can push yourself forward, not upwards. This is another good chance for the Kaishido. Okay, interesting strike for Gyakudo. So this is a good try for Gyakudo actually. Of the videos or the matches that I see, especially featuring Q grades, there is a somewhat prevalence to enjoy hitting Gyakudo. But this is one of the better ones. I think this is nearly Ippon, actually. I just kind of missed the target slightly. So it's just a distance issue. Let's have a look at it, what's going on here. So part of the problem is here, you've gone backwards before you hit, and your opponent's going backwards as well. So you've lost that distance, so that's why you've ended up hitting the front of the door. But if you thought, because I think what you've done here is you saw the hands coming up, so you decided to hit rather than, and again, I understand we're looking at a Q grade Taikai, all right? So, but as you gain more experience, what you'll be able to do is plan a waza like this, all right? Notice throughout the match, your opponent often raises their hands as they're separating. Okay, there's a chance, I'll use that next time. Get to Tsubazeriai and set up the Gyakudo. And the way you do that is from here, instead of stepping back, you see how you sort of step backwards to the side? It's not so much backwards to the side here, but your sort of posture's gone back slightly. If you'd stepped just a couple of centimeters forward, ready to hit that, you'd have probably been able to hit the target a little bit cleaner. And then secondly, you want to be careful of this, all right? You want to be really careful of this, all right? So I'll forgive this in a Q grade tournament, but I wouldn't score this in an open tournament, all right? And the strike itself's not bad, but it's all right. Look, maybe I would if the strike was better. All right, maybe I would. But it's better not to turn your back on your opponent, all right? It's better not to. Dangerous. Brilliant, brilliant. Now, I talk about this quite a lot to people when I'm coaching for Shiai. If you hit a point that was almost Ippon, it was really good timing, stuff like that, almost Ippon, you don't get the Ippon. Sometimes a point comes at an unexpected moment for Shimpan and they miss it, right? And they miss it. And often as well, opponents don't expect you to hit them with the same waza twice in succession. So it can be a really good opportunity, because what a lot of Shimpan will do, and I know this from experience of doing Shimpan and talking to a lot of Shimpan, is when you see a technique like the Gyakudo you did before, you think, oh, maybe I should have lifted for that. Well, if they do it again, let's see if they do it again, sort of thing. And it's not to sort of reward the second one to make up for the first one, but you do become inclined to, you know, you recognize, well, maybe we could have lifted for that one. Doesn't mean they should have lifted the flag. It just means they could have. Maybe I could have lifted for that one. So if we see something similar, let's not miss it next time. And then you get the chance, and this is exactly what you've done, all right? So what I often tell people is, if you have a really good waza, don't give up on it. You know what I mean? Don't give up on it. If it's working, just because you didn't get the point the first time, maybe you need to show it to Shimpan 2 or 3 times. So that was really good you did that. Straight after this one. Again, I'm not enamored with the turn in the back here. I'm not enamored with that, but I don't disagree with the decision of giving you Ippon.
That's really diabolical.
Okay, so this is where you really need to sharpen up your footwork, Red, yeah? Because this is just totally out the window, innit? All right? So, you know, let's sharpen things up and get back to basics, all right? Because this isn't Ippon in a million years, okay? So this is right now. So you taught him a lesson now. Now you taught him how to properly separate from Tsubazeriai. Okay, so right play. This is how you need to separate from Tsubazeriai properly. Okay, in Kamae. I really like that the red player is using a lot of hikiwaza. All right, that's really important in Shiai. Okay, it's really important. So this is a good opportunity as well for the Atoichi. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Okay. Probably could have done with a little bit more like zanshin, like kime, more voice, because I think that was a really good chance for the strike, but it kind of ended a little bit too soon. Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah, these are good men. Really good men. So, for the white player, you gotta be super brave to challenge the I men against someone that's a lot taller than you. All right? It's very easy for them to just come over the top and get you here. All right? 'Cause it takes you longer to get to them than it takes them to get to yours. All right? So, it's a risky move. Okay, was good, well done. Really well fought Shiai there from both of you. All right. I like the Kaishido Ippon. I thought it was good. Gave you the tips on how to make it better. Gyakudo Ippon was good too. All right. Both of you, I want you to focus on your footwork still. Lots of the footwork. This is my thing, right, for now, is, when I say it's my thing, it's what I'm sort of focusing on myself and with my students and the people I'm teaching, is I think, for the most part, your footwork should be small. So try not to make big lunging steps when you're moving yourself around. Try to make small steps that are accurate and always keeping you in a position to strike. Okay, so good job. Thank you for sending that. That was a good one. Yeah, well done. Okay, next we've got a video of a Keiko. This is good morning. I've been in Italy for last week training with some clubs in Turin. I think it's called Torino in Italian, I think. But yeah, in England we call it Turin. And I'd be very grateful if you could take a look at the short video of the keiko I did with one of the sensei here. I'm challenging for Sandan in November. So any advice you can offer on how to improve would be greatly appreciated. Okay, so we're Nidan, looking towards Sandan. Okay, and you're on this side, aren't you? Yeah. Okay. Because I know you're in the UK and I recognise you, so I definitely recognise that door because we made it. Right. Okay. So it's Keiko. You're looking for tips on what to do about Sandan. Let's have a look. Right. Let's look at this straight off. Let me have a look. Okay, the Fumikomi's not bad. The posture's not great. Okay. So what's happening here is your hips are getting left behind, right? So your upper body's coming forward like this as you go to hit. All right. I want you to use your lower body more. All right. I want you to think about pushing the hips forward as you step forward with your left leg to Fumikomi. Okay. Well, this is a good hit for men, right? Have a look. Yeah, so this is good, man. All right, you said this at sensei, right? So it doesn't matter whether you hit first or not. We're not looking at trying to just win, score the points, right? This is all right, but afterwards is not great, right? Yeah, man, you should be doing the city actually, not walking. All right, pushing your left from your left, pushing your hips forward after the strike as well. Right, bam, and then turn around. Okay, this is really important. If you hit men like that in your sandan, I think you're going to fail. All right, but when I say it's because of what happened after. All right, you have to do the whole part of the waza. All right, beginning, middle, end. Talked about this a lot. All right, so your beginning is your kamae. Okay, your footwork. Yeah, your semi. Take the center. Then the middle, and obviously there's more to the beginning as well as you start to go up. But we're talking about sandan, so I'm not that bothered. Then middle, striking, launching forward, humikiri, humikomi, striking, hitting with the shinai in the correct place. Then the end, kime, zanshin, sabaki, migamae, kigamae. Okay, so keep moving forward rather than this. Like, the end goal is not the hit. I realize I'm picking on one specific, tiny, momentary incident or instance in one specific keiko, and I understand probably you don't do this all the time, all right? I just want to make sure you don't do it any times, all right? Because you don't want to accidentally do that in your grading. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people, and I'm not necessarily talking to you, this is to everybody really, we have this tendency to focus on the moment of impact as being the kind of goal, when the goal is the end of the waza. You have to complete the waza for it to be ippon, okay? So again, so here's what I'm seeing here is this kind of focus on the moment of impact, the strike, and then everything after it is kind of disappearing. There's not enough emphasis being put on it. Does that make sense? It's super mega important. I know this is only a short video as well. But if I wanted to pass the grading, I can't emphasize that enough, all right? And I'm not talking about overselling strikes that didn't make it, yeah? But, you know, especially you're practicing with a sensei who's senior to you, and it depends on, because I understand that in the West, I don't know what the situation's like in Turin, all right? I don't know what the situation's like there, so I can't speak to it. But like here in the UK, for example, someone who's like third dan or fourth dan could be called the sensei in some places here. So that's a bit different. But if you're like going against a high grade sensei, like, you know, at your level, looking to challenge the grade of third dan, then you need to make sure that you're making your strikes with stemi. I think that's super important, actually. Stemi is the throwing everything to the full commitment to your strike. It means literally to throw yourself away, yeah? Abandon, yeah? And I think, especially for sandan, that's really important. That's probably one of the key concepts I would look for. That the strikes are fully committed and being made with stemi. Footwork's good. Tell you what would help with your kamae though is pushing your hips back by about 2 or 3 centimeters. All right, your hips are forward of your head. All right, so I want you to push your hips back slightly so that you're going to get a more A-shaped kamae than an S-shaped kamae. It's not super egregious, right? But I can see that the dodai, especially if you've got such a beautifully coloured dodai, it's easy to see the position of it, right? Okay, so hips back a little bit will help you push your hips forward when you launch forward to strike, okay? So it is again, right? Your hips are sort of left behind a little bit. It's not too bad as in this one as it was in the first one, to be fair. But I really want you to, because I think after almost all of your strikes, we've sort of seen this walking. I want you to eliminate that, all right? It's super important. You're listen. You're absolutely capable of passing Sandan from a technical point of view. Absolutely. All right. We just need to sharpen these parts. All right. Sharpen these little elements, and then you'll ace it. Okay. Okay, so we're not looking at Ippons who didn't get Ippon or white, but I think you're doing Ippon Shoba here, and I think what you tried to do here was try to threaten to the men so that you could hit the kote, which is a great technique and a perfectly valid way to do that. But the issue you got here is that your threat to the men wasn't credible. All right, it wasn't convincing. Do you understand what I mean? It was just kind of a flick up of the Kensen out of nowhere, like that. You see that? Your partner here is just gonna. I can sort of see. He's just going to do Ojiwaza. You come for men at this point, you're probably going to get a Kaishido. And if you go for Kote, you're going to get the Kaishimen. That's what I kind of can see from this picture, right? And part of it, well, it's not part of it, and that's because the threat to the men just isn't believable, all right? It's not, he doesn't feel like you're going to hit his men if you go for men, right? Doesn't feel like it's in danger. Oh, look, he's in Kamae, solid Kamae here. But if we look at a technical point as well, you can see how far forward your hips are and how bent your left leg is, all right? Which means when you go, you're likely to jump a little bit upwards rather than forwards, which is exactly what happens when we skip forward, all right? All right, and then it's not a Kaishimen, it's a Kotenuki-men, but whatever, same sort of thing, yeah. So look, right, you are absolutely capable of passing your Sandan, but I don't want you to do this, all right? I think you're placing too much emphasis on that point of impact of the Shinai. Yeah, the point the Shinai connects with the target is the part you're focusing too much on. And that's just one step in the process. All right, I can't emphasize that enough. All right, it's not just one, it's not just that one point where the Shinai connects with the target, because we're not playing touch tag here, right? You've got to fulfill the criteria of Yuko Datotsu. All right, that's super important, especially for third dan, all right? So don't focus on that point of impact of the Shinai with the target. It's just one step in the process. Focus on the whole element, the beginning, kamae, footwork, center, seme, then middle, opportunity, strike, yeah? On target, humikiri, launch with the left foot, humikomi with the right foot, push the hips forward, good posture, on target, good hasuji. Then the end, yeah? Kime, zanshin, migamae, kigamae, all right? You need to demonstrate your waza has all of those if you want to pass the third dan exam, all right? You're absolutely capable of doing it. Absolutely capable of doing it. But you need to make that an automatic part of your Kendo, all right? You need to make it an automatic part of your Kendo. Now, you said you're going for Sandan in November. We are in April. You got plenty of time to sort this out, but you need to focus on it in your training going forward, all right? You're absolutely capable of it. I very much look forward to seeing you with that third dan menjo in your hands, all right? Thank you very much for sending the video in. Anyone else who would like to participate in the Kendo feedback show, send me the video. All you have to do is upload it to video like these wonderful, upload the video to YouTube as these wonderful people have done. Best way is to set it to unlisted. You can put it to public too if you want, but don't set it to private because I cannot see it. Put it to unlisted and then send me the link to mail@kendostar.com. And please give me as much detail as you can about what it is that we're looking at. All right, which one you are in the video, what is the current situation like these people have done. They gave us information about the Shiai, the relationship between each other, stuff like that. In this one, we've got, you're going for your grading soon. This is what you're working on. So all that sort of information is super important, helps me give you a more accurate feedback. So, thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Shop at KendoStar. See you next time. Bye-bye.